Good evening and welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven Lewis Bart Raven. Tonight is Friday night genre features anime night, May 7th, 2021. I'm your host, Lewis Bart Raven, and we got four films that we're going to be talking about tonight. We got Gandahar from 1987, Kakurenbo Hide and Seek from 2005, uh, Lensman, Secret of the Lens from 84, and Vampire Hunter D from 1985 that we'll be talking about this evening. Hope that your week is going well for you. Before we get started, I want to let you guys know that this weekend, tomorrow, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., I will be doing my live draw event, and extra this week will be a vault sale. So I'll be opening up the vault and selling back issue, well, not back issue, but old artwork that I haven't sold before and stuff like that, and prints and sketch cards and other items. So that's what will be going on Saturday. Sunday, we will not be here because it's Mother's Day, and you should spend time with your mom instead of looking at my ugly mug. um, and truthfully, I have some other things I got to get done this weekend. So nothing on Sunday. Monday will be our normal schedule of comic reviews. Wednesday will be a normal schedule of what did you get this week. There will not be a show next week, upcoming Thursday. Um, I have to be out of the office. I'm basically going to be out of the office all day Thursday, and I just won't have time to do a show on Thursday this week. So the round table will be back not this week, but next week upcoming. So another 2 weeks for that. And then Friday, a week from now, we'll be doing fantasy novels. Will be the Friday Night Genre Talk. Launch Fall says, "Hail Raven, hope all is well." Things going pretty well. Been kind of a crazy day, but I had a printer problem that I had to get resolved before the show, and I got it resolved. It wasn't that big of a deal. I just had to run out to the store and get something, get a replacement part real quick and come home and fix it. But it's just annoying. At least it was something relatively easy to fix. So let's go ahead and get started with our reviews for the evening. We'll start with Gandahar, Gandahar rather, from 1987, directed by Rene Laloux, produced by L. Jean-Claude Dallaire and Henry Rollin, written by Rene Laloux, based on Les Hommes Machines contre Gandahar by Jean-Pierre Andrevon, distributed by Actors Associés. Release date in France, where it was originated, December 11th, 1987, and the English adaptation in the US was on March 4th, 1988. It runs for approximately an hour and 25 minutes, hour and 20 minutes to an hour and 25 minutes. The version I watched is a little bit longer. It has a little extra thing on there, tacked on that really isn't part of the film, but it's okay. The genre is fantasy and science fiction, and what it's about is it's based on Jean-Pierre Andrevon's 1969 French novel Les Hommes Machines contre Gandahar, the Machine Men versus Gandahar, in which the peaceful people of Gandahar are suddenly attacked by an army of automata, or automation men, known as the Men of Metal, that march through the villages and kidnap their victims by turning them to stone and then placing them in uh, the statues in these egg-like uh, containers and then transferring them to their base. At the capital city of Jasper, the Council of Women orders Agent Sylvain to investigate. On his journey, Sylvain encounters the Deformed, a race of mutant beings who were accidentally created via genetic experimentation by Gandahars and scientists. Despite their resentment, they are also threatened by the Metametal, so they offer to help all our friend Sylvain. Sylvain later saves Erel, a Gandaharian woman. Together, they discover the Metametal's base, where the frozen Gandaharians are taken through a large portal and are seemingly assimilated into more men of metal. The two of them then stow away on a nearby boat, which heads towards the middle of the ocean, where they encounter Metamorphosis, a giant brain. Sylvain and Erel are captured and confronted by Metamorphosis, who tells them that although the Metametal believe that he is their leader, he did not create them, nor did he order their attack on the Gandaharians. He states that he does not want to see Gandahar fall, and that he needs time to figure out the connection between him and the Metametal. He then returns Sylvain and Erel to Jasper, where they learn that Metamorphosis, like the Deformed, was also an experiment by Gandaharian scientists. Due to his rapid growth and increasingly violent behavior, he was abandoned in the ocean. Sylvain is ordered to kill Metamorphosis with a special syringe. Sylvain returns to Metamorphosis, who maintains his innocence, but reveals that the men of metal come from the future via the portal that Sylvain saw earlier, where the statues were put into the portal and then they come back out as metal men. He then urges Sylvain to kill him in 1,000 years, as a syringe would have no effect on him right now. A skeptical Sylvain agrees, and Metamorphosis puts him into stasis. 1,000 years pass, and Sylvain awakens just as they agreed. He comes across the Deformed, who somehow survived 1,000 years, who explain the true nature behind the Metametal. Due to Metamorphosis' now advanced age, his cells can no longer regenerate, which drove him to create the Metametal and order them to go back in time to capture Gandaharians so that he can absorb their cells to continue living, killing the Gandaharians in the process. The metal of the metal men comes from Metamorphosis' dead cells, metallizing with time. The Deformed, however, were abandoned as they were considered undesirable. Sylvain and the Deformed then agree to work together to stop Metamorphosis. The Deformed fight off the Metametal and rescue the remaining Gandaharians in the future, part of this existence, while Sylvain goes to face Metamorphosis alone. The Deformed destroy the reservoir, supplying Metamorphosis with new cell structure, just long enough to let Sylvain inject the poison syringe into Metamorphosis, which does eventually kill him. Sylvain, along with the Deformed and the Gandaharians that are left, escape through the portal back to their own time. And everything, they go back to their time, and they think that everything is still ruined, but something happens and everything is renewed. I don't want to exactly give the finale away. My thoughts are the primary reason I was interested in seeing this film was the art design for the film was by Philippe Caza, who is an excellent French comic book artist. My assumption is that he likely also did a graphic novel adaptation of this story because I'd seen other art featuring these characters by him in the past, mostly pinup work. The story, well, it was decent enough. The English script and casting adaptation, I think, may have lost some of the context from the French version for some reason. I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with French. There is some context similarity between Spanish, which I do know, and French, but I was listening to an English dubbed version, so I don't know. It just seems like there's parts of the film that seemed truncated in terms of story at times. I don't know if that happened to just be the edition I watched or a product of the adaptation. YouTube videos can get edited, and other things can happen. So, you know, it is what it is. The English American casting was very interesting. Glenn Close, Glenn Close, who plays the winged headed woman you see on the image here. She's the leader of the Gandaharians. Christopher Plummer plays the brain metamorphosis. Penn Jillette plays multiple parts. Even Teller has an actual speaking part in this film. So if you want to hear his voice, you might actually have to check this film out. Bridget Fonda has multiple speaking parts in this. So it was kind of an interesting, eclectic cast. Because there is constant nudity, I do have to say it's an adult feature, but the nudity is not necessarily a sexually graphic nudity so much as it is that's a natural state of how people live in this world. It's the clothes are just not necessarily a thing that people wear, and what clothes they do wear is very little. So it's like, so you know. But again, I would say definitely an adult film in that respect. For the uptight American. I would be interested in seeing an English translation of the original prose novel that the movie is based on, just to see how the material of the novel will be presented in English there. The YouTube link, whoops, I apologize. Let me get that on there. Here we go. The YouTube link is listed on the screen there, and I will also Pop Culture Leader says, the form were cool looking. I enjoyed Gandahar. I recommend it for 17 up. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. You do see the YouTube link listed on the screen there, but let me go ahead and there again, list it there. You can watch all these films on YouTube that we're going to be reviewing tonight. This is probably the best available English version. At least it's the best one I found online for free. I mean, you know, I did look around, but this was the one I found that was the best one. You guys leave it up here just a little bit longer. Yeah, Plummer's voice is very good for Metamorphosis. Really, I didn't have any problems with any of the voice acting. I was just very surprised at who did some of the voice acting on some of the characters. But okay, let's go ahead and go on to our next film, which is Kakurenbo, Hide and Seek from 2005. Directed by Shuhei Morita. Well, written, produced, and directed by Shuhei Morita. The production company is Yamato Works. Adapted translation to English by Tom Whalen. English production by John O'Donnell and Stephanie Shalofsky. Release date March 2005. It is a running time of only 25 minutes. It is a short horror film. And what it's about is this film entails a game of Otokoyo. Yeah, there we go. Which the translation means manhunt. It's a version of hide and seek played by children who wear fox masks near the ruins of an abandoned old Kowloon inspired city. The children who play this game disappear, believed to be spirited away by demons. Kakurenbo follows Hikora, a boy who joins the game with hopes of finding his sister, Sarincha. The storyline is built on the idea that Tokyo is losing its natural aesthetic, which includes children's games such as hide and seek, in order for industrial progress to ensue. In other words, the lighting of the city of Tokyo costing the innocence of childhood games and thus childhood itself. The demons are real. They capture the kids and use their souls to light the city. My thoughts are it's just spooky enough. There's no blood shown, nor is it necessary. It's just the right blend of jump terror and metaphorical hints at what the story is really driving at. It's short, direct, and to the point. It gives the viewer everything it needs to in a succinct 25 minutes. I wish that more people would watch movies like this to see how tight and compact you can tell a story without a ton of exposition, especially comic book writers. That being said, there are two characters who hardly if ever speak. There are twins who run together and who get caught, who probably could have used a few lines of dialogue in English version. I don't know if they have anything of significance in the original Japanese or Korean, because it's actually a Korean film. So I don't know if they have anything or not. And that would be the two on the far left, the twins. But so that and maybe the non-clarity, and I put that in quotations, that some viewers may have as to who is who and what the demons are. To me, it's clear, but that doesn't mean it is to every viewer or any viewer. So that's why I give it just slightly less than a 5-star rating. This film did very well on an international circuit. It premiered in March 2005 at the Tokyo International Anime Fair, where it won the award for notable entry in general category. In Korea, it received the Best Film nomination at the Seoul Comics and Animation Festival, and then it went on to win the Best Short Film at the Fantasia Festival in Montreal. Highest recommendation. Again, there's the link on YouTube. I give it a 4.5 stars. This did air on Sci-Fi back years ago, rated TV 14. Again, there's nothing. It's just a really cool film. Unfortunately, my sometimes co-host John Norris didn't have time to watch any of this stuff this week. Otherwise, he'd be on the show talking about it with me. But he just didn't have time this week. But let's see what else we got. We got Lensman, Secret of the Lens from '84, directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri and Kazuyuki Hirokawa, produced by Michihiro Tomi, Tadami Watanabe, and Masao Maruyama. Written by Yoshikawa, based off of the Lensman Galactic Patrol novels by E. Doc Smith. Production company was Madhouse, distributed by Toho Tawa. Originally released on July 7th in '84 in Japan. The English dubbed version, however, the earliest one I could find was 1990. I thought there was one earlier than that, but that was the earliest one I could find. Running time was 1 hour and 47 minutes. Science fiction adventure. What it's about. This is the story of a farm boy named Kimball Kim Kinnison. From a dying lensman of the Galactic Patrol, he receives a particular lens. It contains information that would enable the Galactic Patrol to face a weapon created by the Boscon Empire, a non-human species, the Erisians, have created the lenses in order to stand up to the evil Adorians who run the Boscon Empire. Through their lenses, Lensman minds are merged with the cosmic consciousnesses of Arisia. Opposing the patrol is Lord Helmuth, a Boscone leader and drug lord who will stop at nothing to get his hands on this lens because basically it's like, well, to give it an analogy to Star Wars, the lens that he gets has the plans to the evil Death Star on it, type thing on it. The Boscone blow up the agricultural planet McQuee, where Kim lives with his father, Gary. Ken in the Harmony Gold dub. But again, I'm linking you to the 1990 Streamlined Pictures edition. There was an earlier edition. The Harmony Gold dub is actually earlier. I think the Harmony Gold was 87, but it's not as good as the 90 Streamlined Pictures edition. Now a humble farmer, Gary is one of the founders of the Galactic Patrol, but he lost his arm in a battle, so he couldn't become a Lensman himself. And that's why he became a farmer instead. Anyway, the Boscones, the Adorians have come after the dying Lensman, and they destroy the planet, and he has to basically distract the Adorians and sacrifice himself to ensure Kim's escape from the destruction of the planet. So Kim escapes the Boscone with his horned and bearded near-human friend Van Buskirk. Through the movie's events, Kim also meets Clarissa McDougall, a nurse and technician working with the Galactic Patrol. Like Gary, she can't explain how the lens can be transferred from the dying Lensman to Kim. Through the tutelage of a flying green alien hero named Wursel, who is like the coolest character ever, Kim gradually realizes that what the lens's power is and how it works, which provides the key to Helmuth's defeat. He transmits the formula to the Galactic Patrol fleet, knowing that their planned attack against Helmuth would fail without the answer. Here's the link to the movie again, that you can find online. I will also post that up in a second. And my thoughts, here's a different cover for the, this is the Blu-ray cover. It has Wursel on it. I'd seen the movie before, probably several times before. And of course, I've read Doc Smith's novels. But there's something special about this film, even though it came out after Lucas's Star Wars, and you can tell that Star Wars had influences on the way the film's characters and ships, etc., were designed. You can also tell that Smith's works had to have a direct influence on what Lucas was doing in the first place. Buskirk and Wursel are awesome characters. Kim is a good base young Luke type character. Chris McDonough is not really Leia. She's more an active participant, not a committee. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But the characters do have superficial similarities to the Star Wars tropes, but they are their own characters. I am amazed that in all these years, they still haven't done an American live-action film or TV series based on Lensman by now. It's just ripe for the picking. I can't believe they haven't done it. Anyway, the movie's great. Should be enjoyable for most people. Recommend it for ages 10 and up. I give it 4.5 stars. And lastly, tonight, we have Vampire Hunter D from 1985. This is the 2000 DVD from Manga Enterprises, the 15-year anniversary edition DVD cover shown. It's directed by Tsuyu Ashida, produced by Hiroshi Kato, Mitsuisha Hida, and Yukio Nagasaki. Screenplay by Yasushi Hirano, based on Vampire Hunter D Volume 1 manga by Hideyuki Kikuchi. The production companies: Epic Sony Records, Movic, CBS Sony Group, Ashi Productions. It was distributed by Toho originally. Genre, dark fantasy, horror, action. It was originally released in December 21st, 1985 in Japan, the American version in the United States in 1987. Running time is an hour and 20 minutes. What it's about. While walking her guard rounds in the country, Doris Lane, the orphan daughter of a deceased werewolf hunter, is attacked and bitten by Count Magnus Lee, a 10,000-year-old long-lost vampire lord, also known as a noble, for trespassing in his domain. Doris later encounters a mysterious vampire hunter known only as D and hires him to kill the Count to save her from becoming a vampire herself as she is infected by Count Lee's bite. While in town with Dan, her younger brother, and Dee, Doris is confronted by Greco-Roman, the mayor's son, about the Count's attack, and Dee and promises to help her if he has Doris for himself. When Doris refuses, Greco reveals what has happened to her to the entire town, including Dan. Dee requests that the authorities, including Greco's father, the town sheriff, and Dr. Faring in the English dubbing, should hold off Doris's incarceration at the local asylum until he kills Count Lee, which will cure Doris's vampire infection. That night, Doris's farm is attacked by Ray Ginsey, who is Count Lee's servant, and Lamika, Count Lee's daughter, who is highly prejudiced against humans and Dompiers. Dee is easily able to defeat Ray, but before he can finish Ray off, Ray reveals he has the ability to twist space around him and is able to redirect Dee's death blow onto Dee himself. Before Ray can finish Dee off, Dee reveals he has his own powers and is recovered from the redirected attack in seconds, revealing that he himself is a Dompier, and after easily reflecting Lamika's attacks, orders the both of them to leave with a warning to Count Lee. The next day, Dee travels to Count Lee's castle and attempts to confront the Count. Aided by the symbiote in his left hand, Dee holds his own against the Count's monstrous minions, including Ray and his companions Gimlet, Gollum, and Chula. While in the castle's catacombs, he is ensnared and captured by the snake woman of Midwich. Meanwhile, Doris is then kidnapped by Ray and brought to the Count. Using his vampiric powers, Dee kills the snake woman, rescues Doris before she can be killed by Lamika, and escapes the castle. However, this is not doing Doris or Dee any wonders with the town folk. The next morning, Greco is confronted and killed by Ray, who uses a real candle of holy power to weaken Dee, allowing him to mortally wound the vampire hunter with a wooden stake. Doris is then captured and taken back to the castle. Lamika tries to persuade her father not to allow a human into the family, but Lee reveals that there is no harm in doing so, as Lamika's own mother was a human, making her a Dampier instead of a full-blooded vampire, and Lamika is restrained by Count Lee when she becomes hysterical at this revelation. I had to take a moment on that one because, to be honest, every vampire is originally a human or some other creature first. They are. I never did quite get that. Well, no. Yeah. Either you're turned fully from a human to a vampire or you're half turned. And a Dompier is a person who is a human who was born of a person. The mother was pregnant but was bitten and infected, but they gave birth while they were still human and hadn't turned yet. That's what a Dompier is. Supposed to be. Anyway, Pop Culture Avenger says, I'd love a Warsaw resin statue. I wonder if any were ever made. Honestly, I don't know if I would like to see action figures of them, anything from that stuff. I mean, I've never seen anything with that whole line. There probably are some from Japan, but I don't know. But anyway, we'll get back to the plot of Vampire Hunter D here real quick. Ray requests that the Count give him eternal life as a member of nobility, and he is coldly rebuffed for his past failures, leaving Ray in a fit of rage. As a mutant attempts to devour Dee's comatose body, his left hand revives him just in time to kill the monster. As a processional for the Count and Doris' wedding takes place, Dan, having infiltrated the Count's castle, attempts to attack Lee, but is repelled by Lee and falls into a chasm before being saved by Ray, who has now switched sides after being rebuffed by Lee. Do Ray and Dee stop the wedding procession and kill Lamiko and Count Lee saving Doris, or will they be too late? Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go watch the movie. Here's the link to the classic original dub on YouTube. My thoughts. For a movie made back in 85, it really does still hold up. I'm not going to lie, there are some kind of sexually icky things that bugged me back when I first saw it as a teenager, and they kind of still bug me as an adult today, but nothing so graphically explicit as to be entirely adult. Still, I would recommend it for ages 16 to 17 on average. And even though it was a non-rated film when it was made in 85, I think today, if it was going to be rated, it would be a rated R or a rated mature MA film. So let's treat it as such. And I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. And there you have it for tonight. I know we kind of have a short one this evening. That's basically because I've got so much stuff to do to get ready for tomorrow's show at 1 o'clock. I've got lots of stuff to get scanned so that we can share it with you guys from the vault. And I've got a lot of other work to get done for this weekend. But around, like I said, 1 to 6 p.m. tomorrow will be the show for Saturday. We will not have the show on Sunday because of Mother's Day. Yeah, saw Vampire D so long ago. I have to watch it. Yeah. And again, here are the banners for Kakurenbo. Lensman. And Vampire Hunter D. And, you can really just go on YouTube and type in, those, Vampire Hunter D 85 and find them in the search engine. You can find them, but I'm trying to make it easier for you guys. And I'll come back and do some more anime nights in the future. Hopefully with John in tow or somebody else co-hosting with me. It's just, he's been busy, I've been busy. And when you don't have time to both watch the same things at the same time, kind of hard to co-host. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm looking for something. Here we go. Monster Defense says he'll try Lensman tonight. Yeah, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I really do. Okay, tomorrow, 1 to 6 p.m., there'll be prints, original artwork, sketchbooks, and other items that will for sale. And again, I will be doing both Monster Fan and Pop Culture Avengers pinups tomorrow. You say you're going to be a little late tomorrow, Pop Culture. You're taking the family out for lunch. Do you want me to wait until later in the show to do your sketches then, gentlemen? Give me an idea of when you might want it, because I don't want to. like to have you guys miss it while I'm working on them live. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Um, I guess I'll start doing the live ones around 2:30, 3 o'clock. Then I'll do the live draw around that time. I'll start the show at 1. Start doing the vault at 1, and then around 3 we'll take a break from the vault, and then we'll do the live draw, and then we'll go back, and then we'll close out with the vault again. I guess and probably what we'll do. That sound like a plan, folks? Suggestion: Best of Studio Ghibli. Um, Whoops. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that, Monster Fan. You don't have the horror of taking everyone out. Okay, that's fair. I'll Yeah. While I do that, I'll do yours early and um, do his later. Yes, I did receive your PayPal for the Batman art. I just hadn't been online today until right before the show, but I did get a notice in my mail that I did receive payment. Thank you. Um, let's see. Again, Monster Fan, you're talking about Best Studio Ghibli. I've seen a lot of Ghibli films. I've seen Spirited Away, which I would certainly review. My Neighbor Totoro, which I could certainly review. I've seen Castle in the Sky, which I could certainly review. Grave of the Fireflies, Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, Princess Mononoke, Kiki's Delivery Service. I've seen Ponyo. I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. Let's see. I've seen A Cat Returns, which is kind of like, you know, mm, ah, okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. My next anime night will probably be in June, and we'll make it a Ghibli night, and I'll talk about different ones of those. And I know John's seen some of those, so hopefully John can come in and co-host, and we can both talk about them. Okay, how's that sound? That sound like a plan? I'll get with John and see what we can do because I know he's seen some of those as well. So I'll have to rewatch some of them because I haven't seen some of them in a while, but I know I've seen most of those. I've seen about 2/3 of the Ghibli lineup. So anyway, The vault sale will be tomorrow from 1 to 6 p.m. And again, I'll be doing those. And I don't know if I'll have time to do any additional stuff, but yeah, they're awesome films. I mean, there's not a, I won't say there's not a bad one in the bunch. I mean, there's always different contexts and different things that you're going to like better than others. Um, but if I had to say, the only one I haven't seen that I've heard was really bad was their adaptation of Wizard of Earthsea, but I don't know. I haven't seen that one. So, anyway, that being said, we'll call it a night for tonight. So if you want to reach me on Facebook, Lewis.BrightRaven, at Twitter at LewisBrightRave2, DeviantArt.com/BrightRaven. You're watching Quoth Raven, Lewis BrightRaven on YouTube. You reach me at Gmail at QuothRavenLBR72 at gmail.com. Or if you can't reach me at Gmail, try LewisBrightRaven at yahoo.com. And we'll see you tomorrow, Pop Culture Avenger. Monday, we'll have our comic news and reviews. Wednesday, we will have What Did You Get This Week. This upcoming Thursday, we will not have a show because I have other obligations this upcoming week. I just won't have time to do roundtable talk this week. Friday night, genre night, next week will be fantasy novels with different authors. I don't know if I'm going to have a fellow guest this week upcoming or not. I hope to, but I don't know for sure. And then again, next week, Saturday, we'll have live draw for Saturday and Sunday. And I think what we're going to start doing from now on with the live draws is like every other week, I'll open the vault up and share different artwork that I have for sale, so that people can see what else I have available. And sometimes I'll have comic covers, blank comic covers for commissions. I'll have other things available as well. Back issues of books I've worked on. We'll see whatever I can get out of the vault. But that'll be the new system for the weekend moving forward. So we'll see you next time. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.